Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast all about movies. Each episode is about one movie in particular, usually. Episode 100 just happened where we talked about three movies in one. Thank you for listening. If you've been here for 100 episodes, damn, damn. But we appreciate everyone listening and or I guess watching on the YouTube version. Um, we're just going to go ahead and get right into it because we got a lot to talk about today. I am, of course, Yemmy the Ferret, and I'm here with.
Grady Waffles.
Hey dog or something. I don't know.
And of course, since this is the first episode of season 3, we have someone new on the podcast to fill in the shoes of both Coco and Callus before them. Who's here?
It's Ray. Hi.
Welcome
Ray.
in, Ray.
Hello, Ray.
Come on in.
Welcome.
Hold your applause. Hold your applause.
It's been kept secret from us this whole time. Only Yemmy's
Yes.
known. So
Yeah, don't forget that gaff that happened during Fast Five. That never happened.
that never happened.
What, Jeff? What are you talking about?
So I'd like to take this moment to announce you guys are gonna have to start season 4 next week. No, just kidding.
Oh, no.
Just our luck.
Season 3, one episode.
Tay, why don't you go? I'm sorry, not Tay. Ray. Okay, we got two people with almost similar names here now.
Yeah.
Ray, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let the audience know who you are and what's up.
I'm Ray. I am a movie watcher and a video gamer, a cat lover, and a dad joker. So
He'll fit
I'm
right in.
excited.
All
Yeah,
the qualities
already
of a
in. Already
perfect
in, yep.
podcast co-host for Film Freaks.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to
Yes.
interview her. We just looked at her resume and were like, you know what? She's in.
Yeah. Are there any genres in particular that you enjoy in movies?
Rom-com is probably my favorite, or just plain out stupid humor, Napoleon Dynamite, Step Brothers, that kind of thing. The comebacks. I love stupid humor.
Well, that'll definitely bring a new flair to the podcast. I think the last time we had a stupid humor movie was Kung Pao. I think that's pretty much been it for kind of like rom-com movies.
Don't we just have a stupid humor one?
No, you're thinking of just a plain stupid movie. That was Fast Five.
Oh, you're gonna think that because Callus is not here.
I said it on the podcast with Callus there.
Callus knows how we feel about that movie.
So,
Poor cows.
are you guys ready to jump into the movie for today?
Let's go.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. So, for the first episode of season 3, we are going to be talking about the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven from 1989, directed by Don Bluth. This movie is about a casino-owning dog, or co-owning dog, I guess you could say, named Charlie, who was murdered by his rival and co-owner, Carface. He finds himself at heaven and decides to go back to Earth by rewinding a clock. While on Earth, he befriends a little orphaned girl named Anne Marie, and plenty of things ensue afterwards. This stars Burt Reynolds as Charlie, Dom DeLuise, who plays Itchy, another pretty high-profile actor who's been in a couple of Mel Brooks movies, Judith Barcy, Candy Devine, Rob Fuller, and many, many more. And also Ken Page, who was also Oogie Boogie. He voiced the alligator in the movie. He was very recognizable as soon as he said his first line in the movie, and then he really didn't say anything after that. But I recognized the first line as Oogie Boogie. So, where I want to start the conversation today is maybe in a bit of a depressing place, which I guess the movie is a bit depressing in general. But just to kind of get this out there and out of the way, the little girl who actually voiced Anne Marie was murdered 2 years before this movie came out.
Yeah. I found that out last night while watching it.
Yeah,
That is just-
I was
rolled
watching
my
it on
eyes out.
YouTube, and a suggestion was like the dark story behind All Dogs Go to Heaven. And I'm like, what? I mean, it's a dark movie, but what? But yeah, she was also Ducky in The Land Before Time, which I knew that the voice actors for that character had died, but I didn't know that she also voiced this character, especially 2 years after the movie came out. Like,
Yeah.
that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Land Before Time came out after she had died too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like just barely. That like she was murdered in '88, and then Land Before Time came out in '88, and this came out in '89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, it was
Also,
sad.
fun fact: her
Yeah.
like headstone says "Yep, yep, yep."
Yep.
aw.
So
I was gonna say
sad.
that. I know. Yeah, when I watched that was watching it last night, and I just was looking through IMDb. I'm like, oh, why is her picture not updated? Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
that,
feels bad, man.
that's not good.
Yeah. So on top of a pretty dark and depressing movie, we got even darker and depressing things in the quick fun facts section of this movie as well. But let's switch over. So this was a movie that I watched a lot when I was a kid, and going back to it, I was kind of like, this is gonna hold up. Am I gonna recommend this for kids? And I just kind of want to go right down the line and just get your guys' opinion on, would you let your son or daughter watch this one?
Absolutely not.
For me,
mean,
like, oh, go ahead, Greedy.
I'm about to say, are they old enough to understand like the premise of the movie?
I certainly wasn't when I watched this.
I was saying, so when
Buzz
I saw this as a kid a bunch too, and a lot of the stuff just went over my head.
Yeah,
So
same.
I wouldn't have a problem with my kids watching it.
I
It's
never
not-
watched this as a kid.
Yeah, it's my first time
I-
watching it too.
Yeah, I had only seen the Christmas Carol version of All Dogs,
Oh
which
no!
came out in '98.
Yeah.
So had no idea. That's the only type of All Dogs movie that I watched when I was younger, and now I see why.
Yeah, it's a bit
Your
of a short
parents-
franchise.
Yeah, your parents probably were like, no.
I was a
Yeah,
very
they
sheltered
cared.
kid.
They cared about you, unlike our
They
parents.
did.
No, hey, All Dogs Go to Heaven builds character, or at least that's
No,
what
it
my
does.
dad told me.
Like I said, as a kid, yeah, some like the casino stuff just went over my head.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you get the he died, he came back, then he saved her, and it was fine. It's fun.
Yeah, I think the main thing this time watching, like I watched it a lot when I was a kid. I had the VHS tape. It was, I had the VCR built into the TV that I would put it in and rewind it. And the case itself was like it was worn. Like I watched this a lot.
Aw.
And the one thing that didn't hold up too well on at least in my opinion was, I think, at least half or so of the songs I didn't really vibe with them. Like I
They're
liked
bad.
I liked the opening song about can't keep a good dog down. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's just kind of
no,
like
it's
a
alright.
fun time. But the rest of them just either they didn't fit or
Yeah.
they were just really short for some reason or
Or felt tacked on. Yeah,
Tacked
no,
on,
for the
yeah.
most part, the music the songs were bad.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
there's parts where you're like, do we really need singing here?
Yeah.
But
Like
you have to admit though, because they the closing credits song "Love Survives" was dedicated to
Mhm.
Judith. So I'm gonna give that one a pass, but the rest of them I was like,
Sure. I mean,
Uh,
that one wasn't. I mean, having music play during the credits is normal.
yeah, but it was still tied to the movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very 80s. It's
Yeah,
just
that is
very
true.
80s.
Yeah.
yeah, when I say like the musical aspect, usually the end credit song doesn't really fit into that because it is like a song that's played at the end that is either supposed to encapsulate the tone of the movie or just give the movie some sort of ending.
Yeah.
So like talking about like the music in general, like that first song, Can't Keep a Good Dog Down, great song. Bop. Bop, really. But then after that, like I remember really enjoying the Alligator song when I was a kid. And like
It's so bad.
listening to this time, I'm like, damn, they did Oogie Boogie dirty in this. Like the song sucks and it's really short and and tonally and like the place that's in the movie where they get captured by the rats and then thrown into the pit doesn't make sense either. It's just a
No.
random, just what the heck kind of scene is this?
It was just so they could bring the alligator back later to save Charlie.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it just felt weird and out of place, and just what is this?
He was a very nice alligator, though. He was.
He
very,
was.
very
mean,
flamboyant.
he ate a lot of dogs.
Presume,
Yeah.
allegedly.
I mean, we know
Allegedly.
he ate at least one.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the rats would feed him? I mean, there might have been
Yeah.
some human remains down there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, we know Carface definitely got eaten by the alligator at the end there.
Yeah.
oh,
He did, you know, when you see him up in heaven, because all dogs go to heaven.
Spoilers,
Uh,
Tay. Jeez.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
Jeez.
Roll credits. But yeah, no, you just like he says like that stupid croc. I'm gonna go back and get it or something. Like get his revenge on it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, apparently Carface comes back in the next and in the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Well, because I know, like, I read a little bit of the synopsis of the second one. Second one, they're all dead, but they go back to Earth to like find Gabriel's trumpet or something.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually just watched that movie tonight.
You watched the second
Um,
one?
I did.
I don't-
Oh man,
Wow.
we got really good. Okay, go ahead. Because
Yeah, so-
I didn't want to touch this with the second movie with a 10-inch pole.
Well, the second movie is my boyfriend's favorite. So he
Oh.
watched the first one with me. And then he
Mm.
was like, "Can we watch the second one?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" So we watched it tonight, and it's about basically Carface tries to he steals the Gabriel's trumpet to go back down to Earth to like blow it and open up all the vaults and like banks and to make money and to be rich and fa la la. And then Charlie and Itchy have to go back down there to retrieve it. It was interesting. It was very interesting. Satan is a cat.
Of course.
Oh, of course.
Yes, of course. It was it was a lot better than the first one. I'm not even gonna lie.
Really?
Really?
Yes, yeah. The music was better. The whole like storyline, in my opinion, was better. But
I about to say the way you described the storyline sounded decent.
yeah, it was pretty good. And instead of it being a girl, it's a boy that they're teamed up with, and he ran away from home because his stepmom wanted him to call her his mom, and he didn't want to because his mommy's in heaven, and it was this whole big thing. But it was really good. It was
Oh,
it was
Maybe
good.
around Christmas someone will recommend it.
Well, the Christmas
Hey.
one is actually the third
different
Oh,
movie
they're
in the
different.
series.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
third
two
movie?
different.
Okay. I thought the second one was the Christmas one.
Yeah, I think
No.
yeah, that one's just the Christmas Carol story,
Yep.
but with dogs. So,
Yeah.
well, that's
one.
interesting.
Is the second one like more present day? Like they've been up in heaven for a long time, or does it still take place in like the 30s or 40s?
That's a great question. It seems more. I'm trying to remember.
Right. I saw like some pictures, and it looked a little more modern. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little bit more modern. I don't remember seeing like any cars or anything that would give away the time frame. Like I can't remember. Oh well, she did actually. The angel dog did say, I mean, this is gonna be kind of a spoiler.
It's fine.
Okay, so Charlie ends up staying on Earth, at the end of it to be this kid's dog basically, and she said that he could have another 20 plus years down on Earth. So maybe they've been there for 20 years. So maybe it has like jumped forward into the future a little bit.
Okay.
interesting. I
All right, everyone, let's pause the podcast. Everyone go watch the movie and we'll reconvene.
should have done a two for today. Yeah. Well, that's
Start off season
that's
3 with that.
interesting because I've never thought to watch the second movie because usually sequels to movies like this, whether it be Lion King or Beauty and the Beast or whatever. I know those are both Disney movies, but still, the point stands. A lot of times those sequels
just
are
cash
just
grabs.
they're just thrown together to make some extra money off the IP, but they
Yeah.
don't have the same love and care put into them. But it seems like they put more love and care into the second movie.
I think so. Also, I love the second Lion King. I think it's better than the first, but that's a hot take.
Well,
That
I
is
like
a
I
hot
like
take.
Lion King 1.5. I don't know if that's hotter or colder, but hey,
That one's hilarious. I feel like it should be in its own category.
probably. So I guess the one thing, I guess I can't really compare it to the second one, but the one thing that I really liked rewatching All Dogs Go to Heaven is the animation style is like it's like the cells and I thought that it still looks really good for an animated movie that came out in the 80s, late 80s, of course, but
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
thought it looked great. Like I
I
love
mean,
the expressions of a lot of the characters. I feel like Carface when he's screaming at the alligator, that could literally be a meme, like a meme template right
yeah.
there.
It
Like
was.
I
I
mean,
I love how
Don
this movie
Bluth
looks.
is Don Bluth is a great animator.
Yes.
I mean, we kind of were, talking about how the musical stuff, and I was just thinking, like the first Land Before Time, there was no musical, like there was no songs or anything. It's like, why couldn't we have just gotten that with this? They're both Don Bluth movies.
Yeah, that would
That's
have been
fair.
preferable.
Yeah,
The
I feel like
music
they
in
were
this.
just,
Go ahead.
yeah. I feel like they were just trying, like, well, Disney has music, songs in their movies, so we have to. And it's like, no, you don't.
This movie definitely gave me Oliver and Company vibes. Like that's like
Mm,
kind of like what they were trying to shoot for and hit, below the belt a little bit.
yeah.
I like the character design in this one too. I
Yeah.
love Itchy, not just as a character, not only because he's voiced by the same guy who does Barf from Spaceballs, uh, but
He's not. Orf in Spaceballs is John Candy.
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
This guy does Pizza the Hut. That's right.
Oh, okay.
He's Pizza the Hut in Spaceballs. He shows up in a lot of Mel Brooks movies. But
His voice is a lot of stuff.
yeah, I love his voice, and I love Itchy as like a character in the movie too.
Hmm.
I know he's kind of like a little bastard throughout most of the movie up until the end. But I love his little thing where when he gets nervous, he has to itch, and then I love the backwards baseball cap on the. It just works so well for him.
Yeah. It really does. He's so loyal, and I that's why I loved him. Like, and that's why he was kind of a pain in the neck because he was being obedient. He was being a dog, and it was cute.
And then Carface is also, I think, a pretty classic villain design for a dog. I mean, the paws facing inwards a little, and the
Yeah.
little suit with, or the not the suit, but the dress shirt with the bow tie. I like just closing my eyes, I can remember that scene where he's like driving a fake car and he's like honking the horn and stuff.
Yes.
Just like a perfect. I don't know. I do feel like he's kind of like a perfect villain for this movie.
The cigar smoking too
Oh yeah,
was like
Yeah, because that was like 80s, you know?
yes.
Yeah.
and his little minion dog like turning green when the cigar smoke hits him. Like it's just perfectly 80s.
Yep. I agree completely.
The mafia, but dogs.
But dogs. That was one thing that was like the movie starts out with the Jill in quotes break.
The pound break.
The pound break. But they're like, what pound uses shotguns and like has searchlights and like
Well, they called it Death Row, and I was like, oh my god.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
this
So
is a
true.
serious pound.
From the get go, Charlie and Itchy are just kind of like on the same level as Carface in terms of like kind of being bad dogs, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, throughout the movie, Charlie, at least Charlie, starts to change as a character. Itchy kind of stays the same until like the big ending, which I don't know. It's a little bit of quick of a character change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like seeing that transformation of Charlie. He's kind of like conning his way out of heaven, and then he gets down to earth, and all he wants to do is get back at Carface, and he of course they break Anne Marie out of her prison cell essentially just to kind of put her back into another kind like pseudo prison. She's still doing the same thing, still helping these dogs win tons of money on these betting races and stuff like that. So, but luckily by the end of it, it seems like Charlie has turned around. Even though he yells at Itchy that he doesn't care about the girl or anything like that, you can definitely tell he does. And then of course, at the end of the movie, obviously he
Mhm.
chooses the girl over his own life at that point, which obviously is a very sad moment in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding out about Judith as Anne Marie just made the movie like so much more sentimental. Like I don't know, her little part. Oh, she was just so precious. Can we talk about the horse race though? And like how random that was? Like, oh my gosh, it was hilarious. It was I did not expect
It was his birthday.
It was his birthday.
Horses are so like nice, dignified. They're like, we will let this pipsqueak win on his birthday.
There's a couple
He
lines.
deserved it too.
There's a
He
couple
did.
lines from this movie that have stuck with me the entire time. I know last time when I was introduced to the movie, I quoted the "Charlie, you can't come back." Like that's one
Yeah.
that's stuck in my head. But the other one was Anne Marie saying, "Chahi, go! It's his birthday." That one, as soon as she said
Yes.
that, like unlocked an entire treasure trove of memories right there.
It lives rent free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
head.
when you hear the word, how they say Charlie, think of that stupid
Charlie.
yeah, the
The
what was it,
unicorn.
I
unicorns?
think that-
Yeah, with the unicorn thing on YouTube.
Oh, that one.
Oh, I was thinking of Charlie the
Yeah,
biting
bit
the
my
finger.
finger.
Oh,
yeah.
that too.
Oh, yeah, that too.
There's so
yeah.
many
Yeah.
popular Charlies out there. Oh no, it's
Charlie.
Carl is the unicorn. Carl that
Oh, was it
kills
Carl?
people. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's Charlie. Carl's the llama.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are too many.
Damn, it's been so
Charlie.
long since I've seen that video.
Llama with hats is Carl.
All right, next
Charlie was the
recommendation
unicorn.
is the entire unicorn saga. on
Oh
YouTube.
God, please no. And that's when I announced my departure.
Um,
Ooh, what did you guys think of the that visual when at the end of the movie when hell is like starting to like the demon guy is coming up and like the fog is rolling, the red fog's coming
Oh, yeah.
around. Damn, that is such a nice visual.
Oh my gosh.
it
that
was. It's not. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Okay, I was like that visual was pretty. Wasn't as like severe as like the dream he had of hell.
Oh yeah, that was also really good.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's just the ending was more striking because at that time I was like kind of pseudo crying, so
Fair.
Same. Honestly, it was very beautiful, but also very terrifying at the same time.
yeah, like
And
that.
then the angel comes and just like no. And he's like,
Fuck off, Satan. Man.
not today,
Fuck.
Satan.
Get fucked, Satan.
Also, love the consistency of all dogs going to heaven. Even Carface ends up in heaven. Like,
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
you would think that by the end of the movie, like he wouldn't get to heaven because he's done all this shitty stuff. But then it's like, oh no, because dogs are innocent and pure and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, understandable.
So, but if he wound the watch, did he go back down immediately? Well, 'cause, yeah, you see him wind the watch. It's like, so did he go down, and then he shouldn't have been able to come back unless he saved, some human.
Well, maybe they retconned it. Did they retcon that
Hmm.
at the beginning of the second movie, Ray?
No, actually.
Oh, so he's already down there?
Like he's up there. Okay, so what happens in the beginning? It's basically like quote unquote he does time up in heaven. Like and he graduates and gets bigger wings or something. I was kind of lost at that point, and then he finds the horn and it's all over. Like it was all just
It was a long con.
a ploy to get the horn and go back down.
Okay. So yeah, I guess he doesn't wind the clock back and go down. He just kind of like fake.
Mm-mm.
He kind of does it, and he's
He
like,
tried. He tried, but he doesn't have thumbs.
Yeah.
Charlie does. It's really weird.
Yeah, that is weird. Listen, if I got murdered by just a terrible douche and then find out that he also gets to come up to heaven after I was innocently brutally murdered, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, "No, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to be up here."
But all dogs go to heaven.
Well, he
Yeah.
can suck a big one because he was
I agree. See, like Charlie, yeah, he had some debauchery and stuff, but he didn't kill anybody.
He was just framed for, I
Right.
guess, murder. I guess. That's what it
I don't know
seems
if he was
like.
framed for murder. He was framed for something.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, something that was worthy of the death penalty.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Who framed Charlie the dog?
Parker?
Who framed
Was it-
Burt Reynolds?
Yes.
Who framed
Surprisingly, he
Dope?
did really good as a voice actor. Like, because sometimes you get these like big name actors in movies like this who they're like, oh, there's a name recognition, so we'll get them into this movie, and then they do a really shitty job voice acting. But I think Burt did pretty good.
Can I ruin y'all's day?
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Charlie is voiced by Charlie Sheen in the second
Yes,
one.
I know.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, no, because I mean, Bert, I think, had died at that point. Like the second one has a lot of different voice actors because a lot of the original cast was dead.
Yeah.
except
Yeah,
Dom. I
Carf-
believe he's in all three of them.
Yeah, Don's in them in all three, but like Carface was a different voice actor. Yeah, Burt Reynolds was dead, so, and then Anne Marie wasn't in it, so they didn't have to try to fake her voice.
I believe the actors and actresses also sang all their songs as well. Am I
Yeah.
mistaken about that? And Burt Reynolds shouldn't sing.
It's Disney? They gotta be singers?
You know, I
Disney-
would listen to "You're Welcome" 50 times over having Burt Reynolds try to sing that sharing song again. Honestly, like,
Yeah. Yeah, so Disney usually gets, they have a voice actor and a singer. Like, they're two separate. Usually. Obviously,
Yeah.
that wasn't the case for The Rock, because The Rock probably went, no, I gotta do it.
I could sing, guys. I swear.
I can do it.
I mean, he's
like,
fine.
I'm The Rock.
He's
He did fine.
Yeah, he's
No,
fine.
I still like that song. I think it's a good song.
Yeah, it's a bop. But
It
yeah,
is a
like
bop.
the sharing song was just kind of like,
Dumb.
well, it was dumb one, and also like Burt Reynolds. Yeah, sorry, buddy. It's not happening. Your music
Yeah.
career is not taking off anytime soon.
Agreed. Surprised, like I think why I found out about the girl is because I wanted to see if it was, because like I knew it was like, I could tell this is a girl, like a small child, and I think she sings once or something, and I was like, is it a different? Do they get a different singer or is it the kid?
I believe it's the
And-
kid.
Yeah, no, I couldn't find any voice singers for, so I'm pretty sure it was the kid, and that's what I said. That's when I found out about the murder. It's like, oh,
Yeah. Don loved her. Like he was planning on
Mhm.
using her for a really long time in his
Yeah.
movies. She was so successful.
Well, she was really good.
Yeah,
yeah.
she was incredible.
A lot
She was
of-
also in Jaws too.
Jaws the Revenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, normally you get like a child to do voice acting, and a lot of times they can't portray the emotions that they're supposed to portray just because they're too young. And
Right.
she did a great job voicing this
Yeah.
character. It was believable that she was in most of those situations, and
yeah. Well, I think I remember reading in the IMDb, like when they first like approached her, they thought she was like way younger than she actually was.
Because she was really short.
Yeah, she was tiny.
Yeah.
So I don't think like she was super super young, but she was around probably 10 or 12 would be my guess.
She died when she was
And-
10. So she was
Okay,
probably like
okay.
8 or 9 in this.
Yeah, probably 8.
comparatively, I'd say that was super young.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's still pretty young.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're at that point where you at least you can, children can like tell emotions apart. Like, oh, okay, I need to do a happy emotion, a sad emotion, not just phoning it in. Even though it's not
Yeah.
phoning it in for them, they just don't know.
Right. Yeah, she did incredible.
Yeah.
Ugh. Especially as
sad.
Ducky. Like now that I think about it, like holy cow.
I loved
like,
Ducky.
Oh, she was fantastic. And
Yeah.
just thinking about how mature Ducky even like sounded, and oh my goodness, the script for Ducky was
Yeah.
pretty mature. So, ugh.
Don't think about it.
I know. I honestly, I was crying so hard. I had to like get up and walk away for a second on Friday. I was like, I can't deal with this. This is too dang sad. Because I think what made it worse is I saw a picture of her after I found out, and I was like, I was done. She's such a little sweetie.
Yeah.
I know somebody that didn't go to heaven.
Her father.
Oh,
Yeah.
150%. God. What a
Well, he
rat
wasn't a
bastard.
dog, so
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, not a good one.
Yeah.
he's the rare exception for like a really bad dog.
You murdered 2
Worse.
people. That's the limit. Dogs are allowed to murder 1 person, but only
Right,
if it's
yeah.
another dog.
Right? Yeah.
Or they can murder as many cats as they want.
Hey, hey.
Mhm.
Hey, I don't like it. I like cats more than dogs.
Okay, good.
So
I'm
when
just
you were on the
saying.
main menu of the cats and dogs movie, you would choose the cat side.
I don't. I've never seen that movie.
Damn,
Oh,
that was
dang.
about to be a really good joke.
Sorry, I'm sorry I ruined your joke.
That's okay. It's a movie that I probably would never want to go back to anyway. So
I do remember commercials for it, but yeah, I was at
Yeah.
that point a little too old to want to go see it.
That's fair. Same, actually. I forgot all about that movie until you brought it up.
Yes, me too.
it's just what I do.
That's what Yemmy's here for.
The one thing that I always think of is like any movie that has like dogs that are talking and they're not I'm sorry, they are live action. I always wonder why the movie isn't just animated. Like there was that Strays movie came out, which I guess the whole hook of that movie is like, oh, the dogs are so crass and blah blah blah, and they're cute dogs. But there's a lot of movies that I think of, including the Cats and Dogs movie, where it's like, why isn't this just
Yeah,
animated? Because that would have just
that
looked
one
so
doesn't
much
make
better.
sense. Because that's like they're like spies or something. It's like
And
it
they're
would make more
early
sense.
CG and
Yeah.
and like animatronics, and there's
See,
a
but,
lot
like-
of movies at that from like the era after the animation was kind of becoming more
Mhm.
backseat to live action stuff. And that there was this whole era where there's like dogs that were like robots and they
Yes.
couldn't emote properly, or they like forced them to like in like After Effects or whatever move their mouths. The dog is like, oh, God, just go back to
Now,
animation.
I will say, Homeward Bound, that
Yep.
that is much better as a live action, I think, than like in animation.
Well, they didn't
Yeah.
animate the mouths on them though, right?
No, they didn't. They
No.
just
Yeah,
like
see, that's the way to do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic.
it is. They just there's just a voice, and you
Yeah.
know which one is which.
Just have a
Did they do
distinct
that in
voice.
Stuart Little with the
Uh,
cats?
I don't think did the cat. I don't
The
know.
cats
they
talk.
kinda-
I'm just not sure if they animated the mouths. I
They
can't
didn't.
remember.
I don't think they did. I don't think it was animated, but like they did. Like they, did them. I think they must have done the like Mr. Ed trick or something and put like peanut butter on their mouth or something. Because I think there was some
Yeah.
mouth movement, but it wasn't like clearly animated. Like it wasn't trying to imitate our mouths.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But I don't
can't
remember. It's been years since I've seen that
Me
show.
too.
Yeah.
That movie got me in trouble when I was little. So I heard my first curse word during that movie, and I said it,
Curse word.
and my mom locked me in a car for like
Oh,
an hour.
jeez.
Wow.
Were you at least in a garage?
No, we were actually. My sister was playing softball, and so she was locked me in the car while my sister was playing softball.
Well, was it?
Oh.
So you easily could have died of extreme temperatures.
Yeah, but I didn't.
We're glad you
so
You didn't. That's good.
I'm a '90s babe. I can
Yeah.
survive that stuff.
Well, so it wasn't as hot back then.
Probably not.
Well, that unlocks the first time I swore in front of my family, I learned the goddamn from Iron Giant. The one guy's
Oh my
like, "Goddamn
gosh.
Hogarth," and I said,
Yeah.
"Goddamn," and that was
Mine
instant
was
grounding.
Back to the Future. When Doc is like waiting for Marty, he's like, "Damn, damn, damn."
I
Damn.
love that
I
damn
remember
was
saying that.
our first curse word. All three of us.
Greedy.
Yeah, I don't remember my first swear word.
He was too young when he said his
I was-
first one.
Yeah.
It was
That's my
yesterday.
first word. Yeah. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, Greedy's first word was shit. And from there, well, here we are.
Oh, I love it.
Well, anything else about this movie we would like to discuss?
Yeah, we've been talking around it a lot, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there
mean,
really
this-
isn't
yeah.
a lot to say about it in general. A lot of it for me is like all nostalgia talking, where it's like, oh, I remember the scene. Oh, I remember
Yeah.
how good this looks. And watching it now in the lens of my 30-year-old eye, it's still a fine movie. And yeah, I think that I think the animation really holds it up, and the base
Mhm.
story holds it up. But it's like the musical and just how like some characters kind of change on a dime, like a
Yeah.
switch at the end of the movie. It could have been maybe paced a little bit better here and there, but in general, I mean, it's a very nostalgic movie for me. So
That's fair. I kind of liked watching it without the nostalgia. Like, it brought like nostalgic feelings back just because of the style of the animation and
yeah,
like the way that they were voiced and just like the way that it sounds and everything. Even the foley for like the paws on the ground and like all that stuff brought me back to being a little kid again. And just like some of the styles I mentioned, like Oliver and Company, it reminded me of, and like 101 Dalmatians when they visit all those puppies in that abandoned house. I thought that was precious, and it reminded me so much of 101 Dalmatians. So
Yeah.
it was kind of cool
Yeah.
to watch a movie that came out when I was younger and didn't get to see.
that pizza looked good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get a
It
slight,
always
I'll
ooey
get that
gooey.
last piece. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was like Goofy movie type. That was almost Goofy movie level type pizza.
Yeah. I do agree with you, Yemi, a lot. Like some of the pacing in this movie is bad. Like there's times where it's like we didn't really need this scene, and I would have liked more time with like this build up scene. It was just kind of a little all over the place. Um, yeah, but overall, like really fun movie, nostalgic definitely for me.
My first time watching it, and it was I mean I feel like we're at ratings already, but I do
Kind
feel
of.
yeah, the musicals seemed off-putting sometimes and just weren't necessary. Yeah, but it was overall, I don't want to say like a fun movie because it wasn't definitely fun. But
It's a
yeah,
dark movie. It's a
yeah,
dark, fun movie.
There were some lines that had me laughing though.
Me too.
Early on when Charlie comes back from being, in heaven, and Itchy and him are having like that back and forth. Like that was a pretty humorous scene. I loved most of the line delivery in that one. And then later on, there was another line where Charlie says something about like there were like Anne. I think Anne Marie brought up something about something being cracked, and he was like, "Well, so were the Ten Commandments."
Yeah.
And I like that made me laugh. Like I wish I could remember the exact wording, but yeah, it was. There are some funny parts in here, but it was mostly like a somber kind of movie.
Yeah. Already, and then you add on like what happened afterwards, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah, double whammy on that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even though it is a bit of a dark, there's still like those colorful, lively scenes, like the entire uh, part where they're at the race, at the horse races, and
Yeah.
obviously the alligator scene. Like all of a sudden, like that dark dungeon becomes like this beautiful, like like giant room that has like pink walls and there's fountains and. For all the scenes that there is like drab and muted colors, there are scenes where there's like bursting colors everywhere inside the casino, at the horse races and at the house, and there's so many scenes that are also bursting with color. So I think there's a good
Mm-hmm.
mix and match of the two styles, but it's definitely more so like the tone is usually a bit downer.
Yeah. Can we talk about how they made the water noises? With the crocodile song or alligator, whichever one it was. Did you guys like listen to that?
No,
Freaking hilarious. I highly recommend going back and listening to it. You can just tell that they manipulated the voice like with some
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
I know what you're
you,
talking about now.
you know what I'm saying? Hilarious. Please, I 10 out of 10 recommend going back and listening to it because I died laughing. Oh,
Whenever
it's
they,
great.
when they talked underwater or sang
yeah,
underwater.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
How did they do that though? Is it just like I don't know. Did they actually gargle water or something?
No, it does. It sounds like they did it like they manipulated the voices with whatever sound production system they were using at the time. It sounded very low budget to be completely honest, but
Yes.
hilarious. I don't know exactly what they did, but they definitely just like made waves with their voices, and it was gold.
A little bit of that movie magic.
Yes.
Yeah, I could totally see them like screaming through like toilet paper rolls or something like that to get the effect too. All right. Was there any other things that anyone wanted to bring up?
not until my rating. No, I'm kidding.
Classic Grady.
All
I'm
right.
pretty good.
I will get us started then with the final thoughts and rating. So a lot of this is nostalgia talking, obviously, but as a adult, I can also critically look at this movie and I can point out that yes, the musicals weren't that great, not as good as I remember, obviously. Most of the songs, I would say, there are still some songs that I enjoy. Even like if you just took the alligator song out of context of the movie, probably would be fine, but in the context of the movie, not that great. Um, Two, some pacing issues here and there. Some like Tay said, some scenes you wanted more, and then other scenes you wanted less. So there was a little bit of a pacing issue here and there, but for the most part, great voice acting all around. I love the way this movie looks. It's very visually stunning. I think the overall plot is decent and it does a good job of what it sets out to do. Lots of memorable moments from the movie, stuff that I remember all the way back when I watched it back in the 90s that while I was watching it, I could probably word for word quote the movie as it was playing. Yeah, I think overall it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
All right. Yeah,
Nice.
I agree. The animations are great. Some of the songs just didn't fit and it felt very forced. But some means there were good songs, like Yemi said. The story is dark and somewhat depressing with some scenes and just the overall theme, but it was still like a good, like just like a good, fun movie. There's me up using that word again. Given that it's an '80s movie, it still holds up well. It just if it didn't have those like forced songs, this would be better. But I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Ooh.
Mhm.
And it was my
Uh,
first time watching, so there you go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So for me, like I said, I kind of already said everything. Pacing was meh at times. Animation great, voice acting great, songs mostly meh to bad. Um, Overall, I will give it a 3.5.
Since I didn't have any nostalgia, kind of like greedy, I don't. That's like I don't know why I want to point on that more than anything else because it just I haven't watched an animated movie from that long ago in a really long time, so it was very brought me back in the feels. Music could have done without for the most part. Everything else that was somber, but it was really good. I'm only gonna give it a 3 though.
Okay. Oh, I also forgot to point this out during our review, but there was like two Asian jokes in this movie,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
which
Oh
definitely
my god.
is like a product of its time, but also like not great. So,
Yeah, they do that in the Aristocats too.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's
Terrible.
yeah. But I mean, for a movie that came out in the 80s, they were surprisingly held back on the racist jokes. So, two, not too bad.
That's fair. That is very fair. It's
Def-
okay. The alcohol, gambling, and nicotine addiction
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
there
took
they,
you
up
go.
for that
I
one.
think they
Yeah,
also
that is
mentioned
true.
like strippers too at one point. Yeah. That
Yeah.
that's all fine. All
No.
right. Greedy has a movie for us to watch.
Oh
All
man.
right. Now that Ray said she likes, her types of movies, now it's kind of making me rethink. So, do you guys want
Great.
like a comedy movie or like a bombastic movie?
Either
Uh,
or.
yeah.
Ugh, you guys
I
really aren't helping.
I will help you
Yeah.
out. I'm just waiting for my chance to talk. Maybe after a movie like this, we do need something we can all laugh at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. All right. The laughing it is. I hope it is a laughter for you guys. So, the movie that I want to recommend is The Benchwarmers,
Yes.
from 2006, directed by Dennis Dugan. Some stars is David Spade, John Hader, Rob Schneider. I feel like there was many more people. John Lovitz,
Nick
Molly
Swardson.
Sims. Who?
Nick Swardson. He was a
Oh
comedian
yeah,
that I
there he
like.
is. Yeah, he's way down on the list. Jeez. The Salad
so
Girl
excited.
is listed before him. That's weird. Anyways, what's the premise of this movie? A trio of guys try to make up for missed opportunities in childhood by forming a 3-player baseball team to compete against standard children's little league squad. It's on Netflix, YouTube. You can buy it.
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah.
Bless.
Oh, good.
Okay. I have never seen this one. I think I saw the
You never
longest
seen
yard,
this?
but I've never seen the Benchwarmers.
Yeah, I've
Oh
never
my
seen
gosh!
Transformers
Really? You
either.
never saw it? Wow.
Have you seen the comebacks?
No.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. All right.
Wait. That's
This
a-
was
that's-
like such a big thing in like 2010. You never seen this? This is crazy.
2006 the movie came out.
Well, I know, but it was like popular in like 2010.
Yeah, no, I never saw it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sue me.
Get
I
ready.
will. Well, will Yemmy be like, "Oh my God, why did I never watch this?" Or Yemmy's gonna be like, "Thank God I never
Why-
watched this."
Why did you make me watch this?
Stay tuned till next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Well, folks, we did it. Episode 1 of season 3 is in the books.
You know-
Ray fit perfectly. I feel like we had a really
Yes,
great
you
episode.
did great. Yes. and-
Yay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, for a lot of podcasts, most of them don't start getting good till episode 100.
That's
so
right.
you've made it.
Yeah, there you go.
This
Bless.
this is our
Made it
heyday.
better.
Yeah.
Don't
Can we
worry, it
do
only
one
goes
thing
downhill
for
from
Callus
here.
though? Can we say one thing
Aw.
for Callus though? Y'all like dags?
You like dags?
I thought they were gonna say we're in a tight squeeze.
Yeah, we're in
or-
a tight
Oh
squeeze,
no! Oh,
that was just a
I
good one.
should have. That would have been a good one too.
Well, we're still recording, so
Oh, well,
it's in the
that'll
podcast.
be-
Aw. Hi,
That's for you,
Callus.
Callus.
yeah, like dags.
You like dags?
We'll see if he actually listens. So we'll see.
Callus, if you listen, I want you to DM me the word dags.
Yeah, Callus, if you're listening, put a GIF of a dog in the Film Freaks Discord section in my Discord. Your favorite GIF of a
Alright.
dog.
All right, or the picture of your dog.
Yeah, we're giving Callus homework, and he might not even hear this,
No, yeah, no.
which is fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Callus,
Okay.
if you don't do it, I swear to God. No, I'm kidding.
I swear to God.
Poor Callus.
All right, folks. Great episode. We will be back in 2 weeks to discuss the Benchwarmers. Happy season 3. I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with.
Brady Waffles.
Taymation.
And Ray.
And this has been another episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya. We're in a tight squeeze.
Your face is in a tight squeeze.
Ayo.
Later.
Getting kinky up in here.
Wait for off the air talk, Tay.